One of the biggest problems that you're fighting on any track or race car or highly modified road car is heat. As your engine operates, it's producing heat. Heat is being radiated out from the engine, and the longer you're using it at high RPMs and heavy loads, you're going to build up heat in the engine bay, and as things get hot, it's going to reduce the amount of power the engine is making. So today we're going to be talking about ways that you can prevent that or try to prolong the amount of time you have full operation before heat soak sets in. Now, this is a much bigger problem on cars that use forced induction, so supercharged and turbocharged engines. It's a much bigger problem for them than it is for a naturally aspirated engine, but this still will apply to all cars out there. So I'm going to go through 6 tips that you can use to help prevent heat soak in your engine. The first thing you can use is wraps and reflective coatings. So you'll see a lot of intakes, they'll be wrapped in like a gold reflective tape, or they might have it on the back of the engine compartment to keep heat in the engine bay and keep it from getting into the passenger compartment. Or you might have it on a certain component that is heat sensitive. So for example, on my intake, I've got that reflective tape on the bottom half of the tube, A, to protect the carbon fiber, and B, to reflect any heat away from the intake tube so that the air that's coming into the engine can stay as cold as possible. If I can keep this tube cold, that air is going to stay colder. And because it's living right above the header, I want to keep as much heat away from it as I possibly can. Another thing you can do is you can use exhaust wrap on your test pipes or your exhaust to keep heat out of the engine bay. I don't recommend doing it on your headers, because if you keep all that heat in the header, the odds of it rusting faster, even if it's a stainless steel, are much higher. And while if my test pipes rust, they're only $80 a pop, they're a lot easier to change. I've still had these for 8 years and they haven't rusted yet, but it's a little bit different on the headers, and it's a lot more difficult to change your headers out if you do have a leak. So on the headers, it'd be a good idea to do something like a ceramic coating on the inside and out, and that's going to keep the heat in the header, and it's going to keep it away from all of your intake tubing so that you can prevent heat soak. The second thing you can do is heat shielding. So you can see there's a little piece of reflective metal in here, and what that is a heat shield that is separating the header from the intake area, because if you can keep that heat down with the header and it get carried out with some of the airflow through the engine bay, it's not going to heat up this tube and heat up your incoming air. One of the best insulators you can use is an air gap. So if you can get some sort of air gap and keep all of the hot air below that heat shield and keep the air above it cool, that's going to make a huge difference in the temperature that's around this pipe. So anytime you can use a heat shield to protect your intake tubing, to protect your plenum, and then of course any other vital components like coolant hoses or oil lines, it's going to really help prevent that heat soak. So now that you have your heat shields and your heat wraps and coatings in place, another thing you can do is paint specific items certain colors to take advantage of the different qualities that they have. So black is a color that will absorb and radiate heat very, very easily. White will not absorb or radiate heat very well. So the inside of my intake plenum is painted white and the outside of my intake plenum is painted black. As that aluminum gains any sort of heat, it's going to radiate that heat out into the engine bay and not into the air that is inside the plenum. So while it's a very small difference, I was already cleaning up the intake anyway, so it helps clean up the look of the engine bay by having the plenum be black, and it helps to smooth out the inside of the plenum by having the white paint there as I sanded everything down. So I was going to be painting it anyway, so while I was selecting that color, I used a color that was going to help me. So like the outside of my throttle body is painted black to radiate that heat out and away from the throttle body. The ceramic coating I used on my headers is white on the outside of the headers to minimize the radiation out of that header. The inside, it doesn't matter. It can be any color because there's going to be so much heat. You're just trying to keep the heat out of the header. Even my swirl pot over there on the left side of the screen is painted black, so that as that coolant is going through that swirl pot, it's going to radiate the heat that gets absorbed into that aluminum out into the engine bay instead of it staying inside the coolant. Anything that you can do to help with the radiating of heat is going to add up if you do it in multiple places and have a noticeable difference. The next step you can do is you can remove items that are very sensitive to heat and you can replace them with ones that are not. What I mean by that is aluminum is very, very good at conducting heat. So it will absorb heat very, very quickly. It'll act as a heat sink. So people who are using aluminum intake piping, the aluminum plenum that comes on the 350Z, are using a bunch of metal anywhere in their intake is not going to be nearly as efficient as something that's fiberglass, carbon fiber, or plastic. So the rubbery plastic intake tube that the 350Z comes with is a great material because it's not a very good conductor of heat. So all the carbon fiber that I've replaced the aluminum and metal with is going to not only be lighter, but it's also going to do a better job at resisting absorbing all of that heat and then conducting it to the air. So all the air that's coming into my engine, almost all of this piping and tubing is carbon fiber or silicone, both of which do not conduct heat well at all. They're horrible conductors. The only thing that's metal is the lower plenum and the throttle body, and there's no way I could replace those with carbon fiber or some other material. Now on the later 350Zs, the whole intake plenum is made out of plastic, and that is a great thing because it is not going to absorb and radiate heat nearly as well as the aluminum would. So anything you can do to avoid metal intake piping and metal plenums is going to help prevent heat soak, and it's also probably going to be lighter than those metal objects. Now the next thing you can do is you can use phenolic spacers to isolate those metal pieces so they can't absorb heat. So you can't see it, but between my lower intake plenum and the intake runners, there is a phenolic spacer from Motordyne that's made out of aramid, which is a heat-resistant fiber. It makes a great insulator. It's not very thick. It's only a little bit thicker than a normal gasket, but it's isolating the heat that is in the lower intake runner that's coming right off the heads and keeping it from heating up this lower intake plenum. And what that's doing is keeping this cooler so the air is traveling through cool objects just that little bit longer before it goes through the runners. By the time it gets to the runners, it's going so fast and going into the combustion chamber so quickly that it doesn't have time to absorb any of the heat that is there in the heads. So by having all of this stay nice and cool, and the air is cool all the way through all this material, by the time it gets to the combustion chamber, there's not time for it to absorb any of that heat. And so I'm going to be preventing knock, and I'm going to prevent heat soak as the engine pulls timing to prevent that knock. The last thing you can do is use ducting and venting to properly manage that heat. So for example, my intake track comes right out here into the bumper, so I'm pulling in cold air from outside the engine bay, completely outside of the car, so I'm getting the coolest air I possibly can instead of sucking in heat from the engine bay if I had like an open pod filter right here. That is not going to help you at all. You're going to be pulling in a bunch of hot engine bay air, and that's going to cause that heat soak so much faster. So by pulling the air from outside of the engine bay, I'm going to prevent that heat soak for that much longer. And then using all of the venting, so the huge hood vent I have up here and the hood vent that I have behind the intake plenum is going to pull all that hot air and get a lot of airflow going through the engine bay. And as that air flows through, it's going to take heat with it. So to keep under hood temps down so that all of these items that are surrounded by that air are not going to be sitting in a little oven. So anything you can do to get that hot air back out and away from the items, and you can take all that heat with you, you're going to prevent heat soak for that much longer. So whereas a car like a C7 Z06, which has a really, really tight engine bay, has a very small frontal area for bringing in cold air for its radiators and oil coolers and things, it's going to heat soak extremely quickly because they just do not have enough airflow through the car to keep it cool. So as oil temps go up and air temps go up and water temps go up, the engine's going to have to cut power to save itself. I can go a 30-minute session, no problem, flat out. I don't feel any loss in power. My oil temps don't creep. My water temps don't creep. My air temps stay nice and steady at a cool temperature. I don't have any of those issues. Now, of course, one big thing you can do for all of this is oil coolers, trans coolers, diff coolers, bigger radiator, getting all this nice ducting to get good airflow. If you can keep your water temps down, you can keep your oil temps down, and of course keep your air temps down, you're going to prevent heat soak, and you're going to prevent the engine's computer from pulling power to try and save itself. So of course, if you guys have any questions about how to prevent your heat soak so that you can enjoy your car to its fullest, of course drop those down in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.